That pulled a little bit. There we go, we're in. Haha, we've got something bouncing here, folks. That's bouncing away. Cool, yeah, that's going well. I wonder what we've got on here, folks. This is nodding away here. You know what? I think we might be attached to a cod here, guys. It's either that or it's a bloody good whiting. That is going well. I think we've got a cod on here, folks. I'm going to get the net here. I'm going to stick my neck out here because that is fighting just like a cod. There's a knock. That's definitely a bite. Go on then. We're in. Cool, we're well in here, folks. Hello folks, welcome back. Now, after a very prolonged period of fishing the shore and being blown off by weather after weather, as well as needing my boat coming out of the water for its annual maintenance, I am, as you can see, back out on her. If you follow me on some of the other social medias, you would have seen that in recent weeks I did pull the boat out, I give it a good clean up, done all the annual maintenance, got the engine serviced, a little bit of work done to my steering as well by Dan Morris from Plymouth. Really good mobile outboard mechanic. If you are in the area and you need a mechanic to do your servicing and whatnot and a few repairs, shout me up with the messages. I'll pass you his details on. Dan Morris is very reasonably priced and a very good worker. And yeah, there you have it. We're back out on the boat. It is just into cod season now. We know they're not around like they used to be, but I always still do catch a few fish each year from the Tamar, and that's exactly where I am today. I'm up the Tamar. It is actually blowing a wind of about 25 miles an hour southwesterly today, so it's blowing a hoolie. And just have a look. This is the beauty of Plymouth. I've said it before, but especially at this time of year when you do have cod to go at, or the infrequent cod to go at in the Tamar, even when it's blowing 20 mile an hour plus winds, you've got nice flat calm conditions. So there you are. I've got two rods out. As I say, needless to say, I'm fishing all out cod attack today. I've got squid, crab, I've also got black worms, and I've got some other little secret baits as well that I'm just going to be trying and testing out, ready for this Plymouth Cod Championships in December, at the end of December, just around Christmas time. And yeah, sit back and enjoy. I'll show you the rigs in a minute, basic stuff, running leads like I like to do. And yeah, fingers crossed, let's get into one or two cod. It's right on the top of the tide now, so I'm waiting for tide to turn. Hopefully, you often in the Tamar get an opportunity, a couple of hours either side of either high or low water, and then during the middle part of the flood or the ebb, it tends to go a little quiet on the cod front. That's my experience. So I've rocked up here just over high water. I'm hoping there's a good chance now as the tide turns, which is just sort of ready to start doing. The next couple of hours could see me into a fish, and if not, I'm going to fish it right the way down to low water, and that's the plan anyway. Low water is at 5 o'clock, which is going to be darkness. That is prime time. I'm thinking that at low water, in darkness, we might well snare one. Sit back and enjoy, folks, and let's do it. Right, so as I said, very simple tactics, simple running lead, little mini boom, 5 ounce lead. It's only a small tide today. Got 40 pound fluoro on as my hook length, and then at the business end I've got a 3/0 Chinook pennel. I'm fishing on this one black lug and squid, and I've got a 4/0 Manta extra point hook. Let's drop her down and see if we can't get some action. Just had a tiny little nibble on my first cast, just plain squid with nothing on the end, very tiny, couple of little subtle touches. But yeah, pop this one out and let's get her going. Yeah, really is small stuff we're dealing with. So small, in fact, they're just not even being able to take a 4.0. You see now, we're just starting to turn around. This is what we want. This is where we need to be. Just bringing this one in and having a re-sling, rebait and a recast. And there you have it, folks. If you leave them little piranhas to whack all your bait up, you're fishing with next to nothing down there, and you won't catch anything on that, that's for sure. Well, we've got some weight on here, folks. I was getting a little bite going on. No kicking whatsoever. Just some dead weight, but there is weight there. What's going on with this? This is just on pure squid. What do we have? Haha. We have got one of the culprits of these little bites we're getting. Pin whiting. He's completely lassoed himself. There you are. First fish of the day, a little whiting. And there you see it, guys. 46 feet here. If you've ever travelled over the Tamar bridge there and wondered, I wonder how deep it is down there. Just on this drop-off area is 46 feet, and just a little further out in the middle it's around sort of 50 feet. So it definitely has a bit of depth to the water. It's a deep old river, the Tamar. Further down, some of the spots I like to fish, it drops off from 30 to 40 feet into sort of 100 feet of water. So yeah, plenty of water in the system. Are there any cod in the system is the big question. Well, we just had a rattly old bite, and I bent into it while it was going in my hand, and we've hooked up on something here. Nothing too spectacular, but it's having a few head shakes down there. What we got? Well, that's a much better whiting. It's a lovely whiting, that, look. Cod size whiting, that. Beautiful. There you go, look. It's a decent whiting. There's the train up there going across the Tamar. If you're on that train and you're looking down at this little fishing boat here thinking, oh, look at him, skiving off work, having a day's fishing, that's right, it's me. Haha. Nice black and squid bait coming across tide. There we go. I'm hitting it across tide. The tide's flowing this way, and I'm just powering a little bow of line out, so it's just holding nicely on the bottom and able to fish across tide rather than being pulled round with the tide. There we go, just dropping a little bit of line out there, and we're fishing. Lovely. That's knock I just had there. I was just recasting the other rod, and then this rod just... Typically what you don't want is the aggressive rattles and taps that you're getting from the whiting. Cod bites are normally a little bit more, they can sometimes be a bit bouncy, but a lot of the time they're taps like this. And yeah, those really aggressive like that, you know what you've got attacking your bait. One thing that you do find with the cod, obviously they've got much bigger gobs, so when they do come and give you a bite, more often than not you get a chance of getting the hook hold and getting into them, rather than all these rattly taps with these whiting where you're not setting any hooks and you're catching 1 out of 20 because they're just attacking it and biting chunks off. What you want is obviously the big bucket mouth to come and eat the whole thing in one. That pulled a little bit. There we go, we're in. Haha, we've got something bouncing here, folks. That's bouncing away. Cool, yeah, that's going well. I wonder what we've got on here, folks. This is nodding away here. You know what? I think we might be attached to a cod here, guys. It's either that or it's a bloody good whiting. That is going well. I think we've got a cod on here, folks. I'm going to get the net here. I'm going to stick my neck out here because that is fighting just like a cod. Come on. What have we got going on? It's hugging deep now. This is definitely a cod. It's either an eel or a cod. Come on. Heart's going here, folks. That is going well. Feels like a semi-decent fish, this. Come on. Come on. Come on. What are you doing? Where are you going? He's hanging down there. He's hanging deep, this is. A lovely fight. Come on. What have we got going on? It's a cod. Yes, I knew it was. I knew it was. In she goes. Yes. I knew it. I just knew it, folks. Yes. Yes. I knew it. In the lip. Look, beautiful hook up that. Excellent. Just pop that out. There we go, folks. A lovely Tamar cod. He's blind in one eye. Poor sod. Probably why he took me bait. He's a mugfish. Has to be a mugfish to have taken my bait. Anyways, very, very happy with that. Lovely little codling. I'm going to let this one go. First one of the day and all that. Let's let her free. Little beauty. Ideal. Over the moon, folks. Always love catching a cod. Just look at that murky grey old sky. Temperature's about 7 degrees, 6 or 7 degrees. It's pretty chilly and I'm just getting a bite. Absolutely love this sort of fishing. This is my favourite fishing. Cod fishing in general, beach or shore, winter time, there's just something about it. Sitting here waiting for a bite, I just don't think you can beat it. Definitely not the first time, and it definitely won't be the last time I've eaten this whole cuddy. With that rain coming down, it's turned black, the sky. Rods are still out there fishing, and I'm just hiding away at the moment. No point in sitting out there getting drenched. It's pretty quiet at the mo. I'm going to give it another half hour, and then I'm going to move down to the deeper area. It's going to be much rougher down there and not nearly as nice in terms of comfort, but it's got to be done. Let's go back down the river. There's the bridge in the background. Let's go and catch the low water over some deeper water. Real bite to the air, very chilly. We just had a bit of a rain shower, as you saw, and it's cooled the air right down. It's chilly. Right, here we are, deeper mark. I said it's going to be rougher here, and it is, most definitely. That wind is absolutely ploughing this way. And yeah, but you've got to be in it to win it, as I always say. So here we are. I'm going to fish here all the way down to low water. We're like 3 hours before low now. It is blowing, believe me. When I said to you earlier it's 25 miles an hour and it was all flat and you were thinking, nah, there's no way that's 25. It is. I'm just going to go first cast with a black lug and squid on one rod, and then I'm going to go pure squid on the other. You ain't got to be too critical about the way you put your bait on when you're on the boat. There's no worry about casting, so if there's a few dangling bits, I really don't mind. In fact, it adds to the attraction when you're on the boat. You'll see when I'm fishing on the shore, I sort of tuck the head in and wrap everything up, but you know, on the boat that there, yeah, a bit of added oomph, hopefully. It's like a different world down here, I can tell you that, compared to where we was up top. But you've got to go where you think you're going to catch fish, and I just didn't fancy fishing the low water over that mark today. Not saying on a different day, but today, no. I'm going to pop this one out to the left, just across the tide a wee bit. Here's a question for you all. Have any of yous ever used, or do you use, a drogue in the sea? I'm a bit of a stickler when I'm fishing at anchor. I like to visualise the bottom I'm over and hit the same areas, particularly if you get a bite. You don't want to be sort of drifting away from the area you was fishing over and casting 20-30 yards swung round. But on a day like today, we've got some really fierce winds going on, and I'm just swinging. There you see it. I mean, if you have a look at the way that rod just sprung up there, it's just pulling us round, then coming back over. It's a bit of a nightmare, really. But I don't know how well a drogue would work in the sea. I don't know. I've never had any experience with using them, and it seems like a lot of hassle to me if they don't work sort of 100% and pull you straight. You know, if you're still going to be slowly swinging around, then what's the point of them? Anybody using them, let me know. Let me know how they work, how good they are, and if they're worth investing in. Because, yeah, like I say, when I do anchor fishing, I do like to sit facing the area that I want to be fishing over and build a swim up, so to speak, and be casting baits into the same area to build the scent up and try to get fish in moving, feeding. Couple of little sharp bangs, and then and again, there we go, we're in. Haha. Something's hanging on there. We've got a doggy. Oh well. Well, it's the first fish I've actually taken from this mark since we moved. I have missed a few bites, if I'm honest, but this is the first fish we've actually caught. Get the old disgorger on him, and he's off. Not rocket science with these baits here, folks. Just taking a whole squid, thread it up the Manta Extra like that, and then pull it up the line a bit. I normally just hook the hook right through the eye sockets like that, and then bring the pen hook down and just pennel it up. There you go, a few turns, bosh, just like that. As I've said before, when you're fishing out on the boat, you're not worried about it being aerodynamic for casting purposes. All you need to do is just put a nice presented bait with your hook stuck in it. I'm going to go out to the left with that one. There. And this is why I've opted for the up-tiders for this sort of fishing with the fixed balls, because I like to be able to cast around. I know the area, and I know areas where I like to fish over. So yeah, I like to be able to to cast around. And getting another rattle on this rod I've just this second cast out. I was just sorting my camera out there, and got an aggressive rattly bite. And there's another knock. Don't think it's the sort of bite we're after, folks. But any bite's better than no bite, I guess. Here's another bite. Just coming to low water now. Just into dark, coming to low water, and yeah, bite time. Keep an eye on that rod there, folks, for us, yeah? I told you to keep an eye on it. It was pulling over. What's going on? Nobody there to warn me. That's pulling away. We're in here, folks. Something on there. Not much kicking. What do we have? Oh, it's a little, it's not a Coochie's bream, it's a red bream. Check that out, folks. That is not a Coochie's bream, that's a red bream. 4 rows and a whole squid. Let's go back. Not sure what we've got on here. It's one of them. Well, they had to arrive sooner or later, didn't they? Monsieur Strap Congo, that's handy, he's dropped off. That is very handy, actually. There you go, folks, look. A little snotty. Come on, off you go. Yeah. On. Pop. Whoop. If he'd open his mouth up and just let me get this bloody disgorger in his mouth, I will get him off easy because the hook's just there to take. Bloody hell. Oh, God almighty. Fucking hell. Fucking thing. There you are. Flip this one back out. Come on, the cod. That feels like a bite. Yeah, there we go. Couple of little taps. There's a knock. That's definitely a bite. Go on then. We're in. Cool, we're well in here, folks. I think we've got Monsieur Eel on here, and I won't be surprised if he don't bite me through, folks, because I've only got like a snood on, and if he's not an eel, we've got a bloody good cod on. Cool, yeah. It feels nice. I think it's an eel, but it's definitely proper kicking away. It's just hanging there now in the water a little. Kicking away now. Now it's hanging a bit more. I wonder what we've got on here, folks. What do we have? He's holding down there. He's really holding down there. What is it? Oh, it's a big old python. Well, it's a nice eel, but he's going to cause havoc because we're going to have to... Yeah, he's a good eel. Right, and there you see him, folks. Quite a nice eel. That was an aggressive bite. Very aggressive bite. It was pulling over in my hand while I was turning the cameras on. Cool, yeah. It's going well. Yeah, it's another eel. Just bring him in. Got a mouthful of squid. Look at that, it just come off me lip. Right, folks, that is going to have to be about that. This wind is kicking arse now, and I've run out of squid anyway, but I'm running for cover anyway. It's really starting to pick up. You can see here, it's even in the Tamar here, it is kicking arse. So yeah, time to go. I hope you've enjoyed it. We've managed to catch one of the old Tamar cod again, which is beautiful. I had a really nice afternoon out afloat, and I'll be back again. This is going to be the first of probably a weekly little excursion up to the Tamar now, right the way through to the new year, for me to try to catch a great big lunker of a cod. There are 1 or 2 fish in the system, and hopefully we can find one of the better ones. So yeah, hope you've enjoyed it. Thanks very much for watching. Ciao for now.